Well, I'm here at the lovely, this is the Supreme Court where I just came from dropping some copies of these letters for Justice Anderson and Dietzen, right over here by the very lovely State Capitol building. It's out here in St. Paul. This is a shot from St. Paul. You can see the cathedral up on the hill there. And I'm headed over to Secretary of State's office. That's currently Mark Ritchie. His successor has been elected. Will now be Steve Simon, another Democrat, barely held on to that office. And so what I'm bringing over is this, a copy of this. It's a letter and petition challenging the certification of Al Franken and the decertification of the Independence Party as a major party. And so the grounds for that, for bringing it to the canvassing board in the first place, is that any procedures which do not allow them to consider serious, material, and deliberate actions in violation of Minnesota's election laws, and that includes the First Amendment, systematic violations of the First Amendment, which are very important during elections. Really, that's a fundamental law during the elections, and all great election law cases bear on that. And the United States Constitution provides that because of the fundamental nature of elections for the U.S. House of Representatives, which I was the nominee for in 2012 and also 2010, and the U.S. Senate, that these elections have to be conducted according to election laws that each state must fix, establish. Prescribe is the word that's used, and these are the synonyms of prescribe. And the problem that we're having is that, yes, many of the politicians do not follow the First Amendment, and as a matter of fact, Al Franken and Amy Klobuchar, the two Democrats who are out there because of these kinds of elections, they're basically rigged, but they actually want to repeal that First Amendment. They claim it's because of Citizens United, but Amy Klobuchar at the State Fair, it's in one of my videos that I recorded. We were supposed to be debating, but instead it was just her. She actually said, well, I raised $17,000 from my boyfriends and raised more money, she said, but a millionaire can come in there and plunk down $1 million for his campaign, and that shouldn't be the case. So somehow she just has a problem with anybody having more money than her in a campaign. And of course, the Democrats, who are still clinging to power here because their Senate candidates were not up for re-election this time. Otherwise, they probably could have lost the Senate too. They've lost the House here. They've lost the House and the Senate in Washington because of leadership like this. But they benefit from every electioneering little trick and lawsuit and legal provision that they can, and then they respect the ones that they like. The ones that they don't like, they just don't bother. And what this suit is about is that they now blocked all avenues for enforcement of those laws, which, as this letter explains, is absolutely prohibited, even by the Minnesota legal precedent as well as the United States Constitution, as I've just discussed. So here I'm just going to leave a copy for Mark Ritchie, for the board. Hi. I would like to leave this letter. Now this is a letter for the canvassing board.
Oh, okay.
Where are they meeting, by the way?
They're going to meet in, let's see, I just have it right here. Downstairs. Room 10, ground level.
Okay.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Okay, so this,
Would you like to give that to the elections director, Gary Poser? Is that?
you can advise him, but it's actually being submitted to Mark Ritchie as the chair of that board.
Okay, so you want me just to bring it over there to them, or have
Yes.
a staff member come up and talk to you, or what would you like?
Oh, that would be fine. That would be fine if a staff member came and talked to me.
Okay.
Thanks. Yep. Yeah, yeah, I got it. And would it be possible to get this, like, stamped that I delivered it? Time stamped or?
All right. So this is the item here.
This is the item here. This is when I would like to have date stamped.
Okay.
It's the same thing, just to show that I brought it and filed it with the Secretary of
Well,
State.
it can be filed. All I'm going to do is put that it was received. That's all.
That's fine.
Yeah. It's not going to be an official
Yeah, and
document.
here's yours. Well,
What's the date today? Okay.
it is going to have to be an official document, but I understand what you're saying.
Right.
And they're playing around with the law, and that's a lot of what this addresses. That's,
All right, so now I'll deliver this over to Secretary Ritchie's office.
well, no, I want to talk to one of the staff people then.
Okay.
Or else I'll talk to you.
Well, I can't answer.
I mean,
the question.
you had said that it would be a staff person. That's why I was
Right.
going with what you said and also
Right,
this
and I
change.
just talked to our elections director, and he said that the person I should grab is Beth Frazier, but I don't know if she's available.
Okay,
so
okay. Well, that might be helpful, yeah. Yeah, this is a letter really for all the members of the canvassing board, but I'm just,
I don't work with the canvassing board at all.
yeah, that's a tricky outfit. I can't believe all the laws they passed just to separate off everybody, so a real decision on the validity of an election can never really be made. What's the name, Beth Frazier?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Basically, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm going to be allowed to file an elections contest, and that's been blocked off by all of the election expert personnel, so I have to address that in this formal letter. See, they passed an amendment in 1988 that these folks, even though they're judges, they can only count the ballots, basically. That's all they can do, and look into that kind of thing.
Because that's what they think of us.
All right, so we got the item, so there's your date stamp, and then Beth Frazier's unavailable right now, so. we'll
Okay,
just
but I
put
want to
it
give you some instructions of what that is.
in. Okay, but all we can do is just accept it, so.
Well, but you can say that that is a letter that's intended for all of these members of the canvassing board.
Okay, I can
It's
say
for the
that.
meeting this afternoon at
Okay.
1 o'clock,
Okay,
and it's telling them that all the avenues to filing contests to what they're going to do today have been shut off by the Minnesota Supreme Court
Okay,
and by the district court, and that's a violation of the U.S. Constitution. So this is an intent to file this contest. It's not the contest, but it's showing them that they shouldn't do what they're about to do, decertify the IP, Independence Party, and also certify this election of Al Franken because of the fact that they blocked off all possibility for contests.
okay,
And that they should be aware of that, because this case is kind of already at the U.S. Supreme Court, because a motion with Stephen Breyer was filed during the election. They're waiting for a cert petition. And all this stuff that I'm doing here now is things that I have to do, so I'm not just walking up there and not having utilized all the channels that are available.
okay. So
And I'm
all-
challenging the constitutionality of their only looking at the counts today and not looking at serious material and deliberate violations of the Minnesota election law.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just going to turn it in.
Now, I would like a copy for each one of those people. I have actually brought one to the two Supreme Court justices.
Okay.
I can't get over to Minneapolis before, and I'll probably have to just give it to them at the meeting.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, if people can go up and
Well, you know,
address, you know what I mean? I think.
Oh, I don't
there's the
necessarily
public
need-
safety area, you know, so.
I don't necessarily need to participate in the meeting except to make sure they're aware of this.
Okay.
And so I'm giving it to the members. I know that this office in the past tried to block something I gave off in 2012. I gave it to them and they didn't give it to the board. But I'm giving it to the members of the board because, as I said, it's at the U.S. Supreme Court and it is the issue that they're not allowing a contest, believe it or not.
All right, so I will pass this over to Secretary Ritchie's side of the office. How does that sound? So that's all I
I
can do.
understand what you're talking about because
That's all I
the
can
woman
do.
that was here before, she offered me the email addresses of all the voters rather consistently, and I don't see her here today. She's still working here. Nancy Lee.
I don't know.
So she was here for years and years, so I understand.
All right, I will pass this over to the other
Oh,
side.
that's you, isn't it? No, that is you. You dyed your hair, right? Sorry about that. I guess I was, so you know what I'm talking about, in short. All right, thanks.
I'll pass this over to the other side.
I'm not, of course, trying to cause a problem for anybody's. All right, thank you. Thanks for the information. So that is delivered as best can be. I will be there at room 10 at 1.